Yeah, there's no denying it. No denying it, Frank. uh, I don't even know what to say. It's been a week and 3 days. 1 week and 3 days. And coast of Maine, that plant is taking off. It's almost triple the size of the other two. I might need to get a truckload of this stuff, Frank, and do a real challenge, like on a massive scale. Anyway, it's only been 10 days. That's just crazy. All right, I'm going ahead and I'm tying some little nets over the seed pods on this Jersey Giant. This is my first Jersey Giant, and it's produced about 15 to 20 seed pods. So next year, this will create another entire bed all by itself. But I don't want to lose the seeds, so I'm putting nets on them. I don't want to pull them till the end of the season because they need to develop the seeds inside of the pods. So I'll leave them connected. I'm pulling 3 or 4 branches together for each net. Otherwise, this would look like a Christmas tree. But basically, just take off the extra little ferns, put a bag over it, tie in a little knot in it. I'll go ahead and get all of these into one net, maybe. Or I'll try. See what I can do. Okay, I ran out of little nets. I couldn't get these up there, so I'll have to order a couple more nets online, and hopefully these 3 seed pods will last. Thing is, this asparagus has thrived in this environment. So my assumption, and it could be true, is that the seeds from this plant will do even better in this soil because this isn't a plant that struggled. This plant thrives, produces big, fat asparagus. So this has been our best year ever. Next year we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beds already. I got a bunch in flower pots. We need to start another bed. And these seeds, as ridiculous as this might look, and it does look ridiculous, these seeds are going to be another whole bed next season. Yeah, we're about 2.5 weeks into these squash plants actually hitting the beds. Normally, if I wasn't busy building all these other projects, and if I had more than just one afternoon with Anthony every week, we would have been a lot further along this season. But I'm not complaining because this season we've done more than we've ever done before. But these squash plants that have only been out here for about 2.5 weeks, I'll check the video, it's about 2.5 weeks, they're thriving. Legitimately, they're thriving. And they got a bunch of new growth on them, and I'm anticipating I got to get some upright cages. I got them already made, and I just got to get them on here before they get too viney. This way they got something to climb up. Our a third sweet potato bed that we had planted right over here, it's thriving, it's taking off, it's filling in. Probably need to put a couple more cages on it so they got something to grow up. Our first 2 sweet potato beds, they're already climbing. They're climbing like crazy. So purple sweet potato bed, they're starting to grow good enough that they'll be climbing soon. And like I said, all these squash, they've only been here about 2.5 weeks. I tell you right now, there's so much growth. There's so much growth. And I'm missing a tag. I don't know why I'm missing a tag. I can see this one. Let's see. It just says squash. Boy, that's good job, Rudy. Good job marking your plants. Hopefully I said, you know what? I did videotape them when I was planting them. So I'm gonna have to go back to the videotape. When I go back to the videotape, it'll remind me of what each squash is, because there's 4 different kinds of squash here, and there's 4 different kinds of squash over there. One of them is zucchini. Well, you know what? No matter what, once they start producing squash, we'll know exactly what they are. We had so many volunteer blackberry bushes shoot off of the ones we originally planted that we started popping them up, putting them in flower pots until we determined the best place for them, because apparently there's no controlling them. They just take off. So they need their own space. I was thinking maybe along the back fence. But the point is, even in the pots, they're producing all kinds of blackberries. I'm looking at some right over there. I mean, these are just rogue blackberry plants in pots. We even found some rogue potatoes. Must have been left over in the dirt we used for our asparagus. So we had to pull those potato plants out of our asparagus beds and put them in pots, because we're not digging up our asparagus to get to any kind of potatoes. No way. Just amazing the stuff that happens all by itself. I can also say, beyond a reasonable doubt, we'll have more grapes this year than we've ever had. These grapevines, they putting a lot of grapes out. Not really sure how they're gonna be. Don't know if they're gonna be delicious or not. If not, guess what? We'll turn them into something. From grape jelly, we'll turn them into something. Got any ideas? We're listening. Considering it's gonna be the first full summer these apple trees are gonna be in the ground. We only have 3 apples, but we have 3 apples. 3. There's something about that number 3. Had a little melon. 2 melons helped themselves to growing in a sweet potato bed. I'll tell you what, that's one thing about making your own compost pile. There's no telling what's going to volunteer to grow wherever it's going to grow. You just got to keep your eye on things and make sure something doesn't ruin it for what you intended. Right now, I'll let these watermelons or cantaloupes go. I'm not sure what they are, but I'm going to let them go. If I see it starts to hurt the sweet potatoes, we'll cut them. Right now, they got free. We still have a whole lot of little plants that we had started. We haven't gotten them in yet, but Sunday, should it not be downpouring on us, these 2 beds are ready to go. And look how much nicer and neater the compost looks inside of our new compost bins. We're going to build a 3rd one, maybe even a 4th one, but a 3rd one for now. It looks so much neat and organized. We're starting to organize all of our extra pots and buckets, keep them in one place. There's the tomatoes we planted on Sunday before the downpour. Our pink boar and our blue beauties. They look like they're doing okay. All in all, everything is doing good with all this extra rain. Yeah, you can lock it. Hold on, I'm just finishing this last video. It's June 14th, it's Wednesday. I couldn't finish my video Sunday with the downpour. Looks like we have 100% germination on the corn we planted that we saved out of last year's corn plants. We have 9 little artichoke plants in a row. They're doing okay. I mean, I guess in a couple of weeks they'll do better. But the true leaves are growing, and they're nice and colorful. The baby leaves are dying off. So you can see these artichokes. I do not anticipate getting artichokes this summer. But next year, I might have to pull a few of these out and move them. I don't know. According to all the videos and all the different things that I've learned, you want to give them a little bit of room to grow. But it's okay, because they're going to get full sun, a lot of nutrition, a lot of water, and protection. I protected them all with sticks because our dog clod hops all over them. All right, time to sit down. I busted a serious sweat working out in the garden this morning, and I didn't do a lot of work, but I did enough. And I'm pretty impressed with how things are going. No kidding. Really, really, really blessed by most of it. There's a couple of tomato beds. We screwed around this year and had to take dirt and swap it and add it and mix it. Even on this little Coast of Maine challenge I'm doing, that dirt's not impressing me right now. The dirt we were working on for 3 years, those tomato plants, they taken off like the magic beans we planted. But basically, I'm just taking it all in and realizing our garden is really coming into fruition this season. It's really doing well this season. What do you think, babe?
I do.
You're on camera.
Oh. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I do. You know, it takes a couple of years of getting your soil to, plants are like children. If you think about it. You have to take care of them. You have to weed them and attend them, and gardening is time, but it's time well spent, because in the end your family gets blessed. Sure does. And this is just This garden this year is just super duper. Super duper. Yeah.
Yeah, and guess what happened Sunday? We went and picked up a truckload of pallets. We're gonna do 2 more raised tables for some big pots because we got a bunch of stuff we haven't started yet. I am gonna go nuts next weekend. Cilantro and basil and some other herbs that we really wanna stock up on because we just use it a lot. I don't know if it's because we're Italian. I don't know what it is. But we're gonna grow this garden even bigger on Sunday. Stay tuned. Remember, 1 pot, 1 plant, 1 patio. You're never too old, you're never too sick. You're never too out of shape. You might bust a little sweat, but just start, it'll grow. This is a bunch of those seed pods off of those Chinese radishes. I don't know if you can see. I started opening them and then I realized, why not videotape this? And I put them in a little bag. I crack them open and I'm dropping the seeds into the bag. But seems to me next year we're gonna have a whole lot of radishes. And the 2nd and 3rd generation plants always seem to do better because the ones that thrive put out some good seeds.